So hi everyone, Deanna King here for those who don't know me, and this channel is All Talk Narcissism and Codependency. Today, what I want to talk about is sex with a narcissist. Pretty bold, huh? But it's a topic that we don't talk about that often, and I want to talk about three different areas on the matter. We have those who rock the victim's worlds, those who are nothing but a rock, aka dead in bed, boring ones, and those that we perceive as having homosexual tendencies. So first I'll be talking about the rock your world type, and then the stone cold rock, and then we'll finish off with the talking about the homosexual tendencies that a lot of people are concerned about. And by the way, I'm needing subscribers and likes these days because they've been replacing a lot of us with AI, so my videos are only being shown to a very, very small amount of people. Okay, so that aside, let's begin. A lot of partners of narcissistic abuse claim that that is one area that they have no complaints in. One of the most confusing parts of being involved with a narcissist is the sexual chemistry for the good lover ones, because for many people, that's what hooks them in the deepest. They'll tell you that the narcissists, they are great in bed, and in a lot of ways they are, some. But it's not because of love, connection, or genuine passion. It's because sex to them is a tool. It's not intimacy, it's strategy. In the beginning, it feels electric. They study you, not just your body, but your reactions. They're very observant. They notice what makes you melt, what makes you blush, and what makes you feel wanted. They mirror back your desires like they've known you for lifetimes, and it's intoxicating because it feels personal. It feels like someone finally sees you, which is something that's been missing for you your whole life. But that's the illusion. What you're really experiencing isn't emotional depth, it's performance. They're performing a version of passion that keeps you addicted to the intensity. For them, sex isn't about closeness, it's about control. It's a way to bind you to them through chemicals, fantasy, and confusion. There are a few common types of narcissists in this area, and each one uses sexuality differently. Number one, you have the charmer. This one knows exactly what to say and how to touch you to make you feel like the most desired person on earth. They build up your confidence only to make you dependent on their validation. You start craving their approval the same way that they crave your attention. The second one is the performer. This type turns sex into a stage. It's not about connection here. It's about being admired. They thrive on your reactions, your praise, your awe. They want to hear how good they are, how no one else compares. You're not their partner. You're their audience. The third one is the dominator. Here, sex becomes a power play. They use it to test boundaries, to see how much control that they can take. Sometimes it feels thrilling, and other times it can be a bit unsettling. But either way, it leaves you emotionally off balance, and that's the point. They blur the line between passion and possession until you can't tell the difference. For some narcissists, once they know that they have you hooked, once they sense that emotional and physical bond, the game shifts. That's when the great in bed lover turns into the demanding one. At first, it might sound playful or open-minded, a casual suggestion, a fantasy that they just want to talk about. They'll say things like, wouldn't it be exciting if we tried something different? Or, you said you trusted me, don't you want to explore together? But underneath the words isn't curiosity, it's pressure. They start pushing boundaries, sometimes little by little, to see how far that you're going to bend for them. They might bring up things like threesomes, filming you, or involving other people, not out of mutual exploration, but as a test of control. They'll make it sound like it's about connection, but it's really about domination. And if you hesitate or say no, the tone shifts. Suddenly you're boring, you're insecure, or not as open as they thought. They'll guilt you with lines like, if you really love me, you'd want me to be happy. Or they'll compare you to imaginary others. Most people would kill for a chance to try this. It's never about the act itself. It's about how much of yourself that you're willing to give up to keep them satisfied. They get off on that power, not just physically, but psychologically. To them, your compliance is proof of your devotion, and your discomfort is proof of their control. And the cruel irony in this is, if you do go along with it to keep the peace, they're going to lose respect for you. But then if you refuse, they'll punish you with rejection, ridicule, or withdrawal. Either way, they win, because both reactions feed their ego and reinforce their dominance. What you thought was sexual chemistry was actually conditioning, teaching you that love means self-betrayal and that pleasure means losing your boundaries. And lastly, number 4, the withholder. The narcissist who uses sexual deprivation as punishment or control, they're going to withdraw affection just to make you chase it. They'll make you feel like you've done something wrong, and intimacy becomes a reward that you have to earn back. And this keeps you walking on eggshells, desperate to please them, hoping to get that spark back. So what do they gain from all of this? Power, validation, and admiration. They feed off the way that you light up around them or crumble when they withdraw. Every emotional high and low gives them supply. When you're hooked on the chemistry, you're less likely to see the manipulation. They want you addicted to the intensity, not the reality. They don't just want your body, they want your energy, your attention, and your surrender. They want to feel powerful enough to make you lose control, to shape your emotions through pleasure and pain. It's all about ownership disguised as desire. And that's why so many survivors say that the sexual bond, it felt spiritual or fated. It wasn't. It was engineered. They create that connection on purpose, because once you confuse control for passion, you start mistaking chaos for love. Then there's the narcissist who isn't passionate at all, charming, or even attentive. They're cold, cold as stone. With this type, sex is rare, mechanical, boring, or completely absent. They don't reach for you, they don't hold you, and they don't touch you. It feels empty, like they're somewhere else entirely. This is the narcissist who withholds intimacy as a form of control. They'll make you feel unwanted, undesirable, and invisible, and then act confused when you start questioning what's wrong. Don't you know you're just there to serve them for the things they want? You'll hear things like, you're too needy, or they'll make you feel bad for wanting sex. But what they're really saying is, I don't see you as a person to connect with, only a tool to use when I feel like it. And they can go weeks, months, even years without touching you. And when they finally do, it's on their terms. It's cold, it's quick, and it's self-serving. There's no kissing, there's no tenderness, there's no mutual pleasure. You do all the work, you do all the pleasing, and when it's over, they get up and they walk away as if nothing just happened. I had a client once who told me that her husband never ever touched her, never once kissed her except for a quick peck on the lips. He would come in the bedroom naked when he wanted sex and lay on his back next to her so she would please him. And one time, after pleasuring him and he wanted to enter her, he told her to prepare herself so that he could. Extremely selfish. For the partner, that kind of rejection, it cuts deep. They're left feeling dirty and undesirable, like something's wrong with them. And often the victim rationalizes by telling themselves that their partner must have had been abused as a child, so that they don't dare bring up the subject. Meanwhile, there was never any abuse. It was pure selfishness. And if that's you, You might start to internalize their coldness as proof that something is wrong with you. There isn't anything wrong with you. But you end up telling yourself that you mustn't be attractive enough or exciting enough or good enough. You start trying harder, changing how you look, what you wear, how you behave, but nothing melts the ice. And that's because their distance is not caused by lack of desire, it's caused by control. By withholding affection, they create scarcity, and scarcity keeps you chasing. Their neglect, their indifference, that's abuse. It's emotional starvation. And what makes it so confusing is that sometimes they'll still demand your body. But like I just said, it's never mutual. You're expected to please them, to meet their needs while yours are dismissed or ignored. There's no aftercare. There's no holding. There's no closeness. It's one-sided, and it leaves you feeling used and hollow. And you're feeling that because you are being used. Your only purpose was to satisfy them. This narcissist doesn't withhold sex because they can't connect. They withhold because they don't want to give. Because giving requires empathy, effort, and presence. And those are things that they refuse to share. To them, vulnerability is weakness. When someone you love treats you like you're invisible, it does something to your nervous system. It makes you question everything about you, who you are, your worth, your desirability, your place in the relationship. You start asking questions like, why don't they want me? And am I not enough? Or is there someone else? And that's exactly where they want you. Doubting yourself instead of seeing them clearly. Because when you're starving for affection, and you're starved long enough, you start accepting crumbs as a feast. One kind word, one compliment, one moment of tenderness, and suddenly your body floods with relief. That's trauma bonding in motion. Your brain starts associating temporary relief with love, even though it's just another manipulation loop designed to keep you chasing. The rejection becomes addictive in its own twisted way. The more they withhold, the more desperate that you become to earn their approval. And every time that they toss you a small bit of affection, it feels euphoric, like you finally won them back. But that win never lasts because it's not real connection, it's control. And a lot of partners, they think that their partners are asexual, but most of the time that isn't the case. Asexual people, they're not sitting around watching porn. I mean, think about that. And lastly, the narcissists with homosexual tendencies. What's happening here most of the time is that it isn't about gender. It's about supply. There's another side to this that not many talk about. Some narcissists aren't driven by genuine attraction at all. Not to women, not to men, but to supply. To them, it doesn't matter who's in front of them as long as that person gives them what they want. Attention, admiration, validation, and control. This is why so many partners end up confused. You might find out that your narcissistic partner has been flirting with or even involved with people of the same sex, and it leaves you questioning everything. But to them, gender doesn't define desire, ego does. For these types, sex isn't an act of intimacy, it's a transaction. It's a way to dominate, to experiment, to see how far that they can go, to prove that they can have whatever they want. They're not exploring their orientation, they're exploring power. It's also about shock value, crossing lines, getting away with everything, breaking norms, pushing limits. It feeds their sense of superiority. If they can blur boundaries and make others chase them, it reinforces that feeling of being untouchable. That's why some narcissists will sleep with anyone who makes them feel wanted, admired, or useful. Man, woman, doesn't matter. Sex is sex. You're a dildo to them, a toy. It's not about connection, it's about conquest. They collect experiences like trophies, each one feeding the grand illusion of who they think they are. You might even notice that The same narcissist who acts cold and uninterested in you becomes almost hypersexual elsewhere, often in secret, sometimes in reckless ways, many times actually. It's not because they're suddenly discovering who they really are here. It's because they crave stimulation and validation wherever they can get it. And then when they sense that you've noticed, of course, they'll do as usual. They'll deny, deflect, or twist it around. You're paranoid. You're making things up. Or so what if I have friends of both sexes? That doesn't mean anything. But the truth is many narcissists, they don't see sex as personal or meaningful. It's a tool. It's a tool to manipulate, to impress, or to punish. First, it's important to recognize the recurring patterns in narcissistic sexual behavior. Across different relationships, the same types emerge. You have the charming, attentive lover who uses passion as a binding tool, the boundary pushing, demanding type who tests compliance, the cold as a rock partner who withholds pleasure and attention, and the sexually fluid, indiscriminate narcissist who seeks supply and ego gratification above all. These aren't isolated behaviors here. They are consistent templates that narcissists use over and over and over again. And second, at the core of all these behaviors is control, like I keep saying. Every move from intense attention to total withdrawal, from teasing or demanding sexual acts to outright disinterest, is designed to assert dominance and manipulate the partner's perception and behavior. Sexual interaction is never just about connection. It is a lever, a tool, a way to measure influence and reinforce power. Third, escalation is a key pattern. Narcissists, they often begin relationships with high intensity and attention only to oscillate unpredictability between closeness and distance. They test boundaries constantly, introducing novelty, secrecy, or taboo behaviors to see how far their partner will comply. Each reaction that they provoke is collected as information, feeding their next move. Fourth, public versus private dynamics are striking. Many narcissists, they maintain a seemingly ideal sexual persona in public, while behind closed doors they are cold, controlling, or indifferent. Others flaunt sexual fluidity or indiscriminate behavior in secrecy, using it to elicit jealousy, admiration, or anxiety. The gap between public image and private behavior is a consistent hallmark of their strategy. But no matter the type, the tactics, or the sex, one thing is clear. Every move a narcissist makes in intimacy is about control, not connection. And that's the reality to recognize. Lastly, fifth, these patterns are repeated across multiple relationships. They rarely evolve with a single partner, and their strategies can be traced through history. Their friends, ex-partners, or social media often reveal the same cycles. This repetition emphasizes that the behaviors are systematic, not situational or reflective of the partner's attractiveness or worth. So finally, the factual takeaway is clear. Narcissists use intimacy and sexual behavior as mechanisms of manipulation and control. Every act, whether charm, withdrawal, boundary testing, or sexual fluidity, is engineered to maintain power and supply. Observing these behaviors objectively allows partners to see the system for what it is: consistent, strategic, and designed to benefit the narcissist. It's always to benefit the narcissist, so stop taking their stuff personally. So that is all for today. And if anyone wants to add on to this conversation, leave a comment down below. I hope to hear from you. So take care, and we shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.